Hello, Tami Jersey Roberts, functional nutrition counselor. This is video number 4 in a series on functional nutrition's approach to health. I'm going to share my screen, get this going. Functional nutrition's approach to health, video number 4. Again, just so you can see where we're coming from for review, everything is connected. In Western medicine and many alternative medicines also, many alternative health practitioners, the body is divided up into different systems. We have cardiologists, immunologists, gastroenterologists, all these different ologists that specialize in one system of the body. Well, in functional nutrition, yes, we do look at each system, but we look at the system and how it's related to the other systems. The body is one big ecosystem, and we look at how they're working together and how they should be working together and what are little changes that we could make that could make a big difference in a person's life. And again, we're looking at everyone is unique, and the signs, symptoms of one person could be the same as someone else, but they're not going to come out of it the same way that they got there. They got there in a different way. Their environment's different. Everything about their life is different. And it's the same thing as also saying, you know, one person can be exposed to a toxic chemical, and so can someone else. You know, thousands of people could be, but everyone's affected differently because of their unique makeup. And so we look at people as unique individuals. And I also want to mention here about the dietary theories that are out there. One diet doesn't work for everyone. Oh my goodness, this took me years to finally convince myself that these diets that come out, these popular diets, keto, paleo, Atkins, low calorie, low carb, high carb, on and on and on, they're all theories and they don't work for everyone. And people have different food sensitivities, intolerances, allergies, and everyone is unique. And we need to figure out what is going to work for us. And the way that we do that in functional nutrition is that we assess, we recommend, and then we track. We only make 1 or 2 small changes at a time so that we can see what's working, what's not working, what else can we do? And if there is a big shift, you know, what's going on with that? And again, we're doing this person by person. It's all personalized one by one. And this is the way that I believe we're going to shift the terrain of the American healthcare system, one person at a time. And of course, the chronic illnesses in this country are just going out of control, in my opinion. And there's so much that we can do to resolve this, but it's got to be person by person. Everyone is unique. We all got there a different way, and we're going to come out a different way. And all things matter. We look at everything in a person's lifestyle, their relationships, their job, their community, what they're eating, if everything is working properly. And that is, you know, how is it connected? Where is the dysfunction? How can we shift one thing in one system to make an effect in another system? So all things do matter. And again, the trees with all the branches, migraines, fatigue, acne, restless leg syndrome, which is autoimmune, multiple sclerosis is autoimmune, lupus, Hashimoto's. But there's candida, there's depression, anxiety, chemical sensitivities. This is becoming more and more prevalent. We're exposed to thousands of these chemicals every day, especially women. Seems like we have more in our makeup and beauty products, eczema, allergies, joint pain, insomnia, alopecia. I mean, this is all the signs, symptoms, diagnosis. These are the branches of the tree. And in the roots, the soil, the terrain that these are manifesting from are your genes, digestion, and your inflammation. So here's another way to look at those, your genes. And we talked about genes and mindset, environment, movement, and food. All of these influence your genes, but you can see it's also connected to your digestion, the mechanical, chemical, structural, microbial. And this video, we're going to talk more about inflammation, calm, enhance, modulate, clear. So how do you know if you've got inflammation? You know, there are blood tests that can be done to tell people measuring inflammation, but you may have different doctors telling you they have inflammation, but you don't know where it's coming from. And I put this slide up here because inflammation is a natural response of the immune system. And, you know, when we get a cut on our finger or something happens, you sprain your ankle, the area gets inflamed. It swells up a little bit. It gets red, a little bit of pain maybe. But in chronic inflammation that I'm talking about as one of the roots to chronic illnesses, some people are saying that is the major root to all chronic illnesses is inflammation in the body. This is when the inflammation doesn't go down and your immune system basically gets distracted, I guess is one way to say it, that it's focusing all of its energy on the inflammation that shouldn't be there, the chronic inflammation that doesn't go down. And so if your immune system is in an overreactive state, things express like autoimmunity. There's over 100 autoimmunity conditions, and more and more people are getting diagnosed every day, especially women. And the numbers are about 120 million right now, but the issue with this sometimes is it takes women 3, 4, 5 doctors, 3 or 4 years to even get a diagnosis. And when they get a diagnosis, that doesn't necessarily help because most of the time they're just given medications and sent on their way. Or they're just told that it's all in their head and, you know, unless you have a symptom all the time, because with a lot of autoimmunities, you can't get out of bed one day and then the next day you're feeling great. So it just all depends, and it's an overreaction to the immune system. The other one that comes up is allergies, external threat from allergies. If your immune system is underreactive, things like cancer show up or major infections. So inflammation. In functional nutrition, the first thing that we do is clear the terrain, clear the soil, clear the environment that the inflammation is manifesting in. And so a lot of times what we do is take out all the inflammatory foods temporarily. Well, I take that back. Some of them won't be temporary, but it's not to scare you, but there's some things that humans should just not eat because they have been directly correlated to inflammation. But, I got this slide from Andrea Nakayama at the Functional Nutrition Lab, where I got my certification. And she calls this clearing the muddy waters. So what we want to do is clear out all the known foods. There's about we start maybe with 6 of them, but there's up to 11 depending on the person. And we don't do allergy tests or any of that. I mean, if you have that blood work, that's fine, but we don't need that to be able to do this. And what is totally cool is once we have cleared the muddy waters, it usually takes, I don't know, 7 to 8 days, sometimes 30 days, just depends on where someone's starting from. It's kind of incredible that the signs, symptoms actually just disappear. The person is just fabulously better. And it's incredible how this can happen in such a short time. And then we assess and we look at it again and we're tracking to see which ones of those inflammatory foods were triggering certain symptoms and responses in their body. And so that's what I mean by modulate, that we're looking at that and we're saying, hey, let's modulate this. Like if we take this food out, you seem to get better. So what do you think about that? And calming, clearing the muddy waters often will just calm the immune system and bring it back into balance. But sometimes it's actually a matter of calming the nervous system in the body. There's nerves that control if we're in fight or flight or we're relaxed. And this also relates to digestion and your genes, that when you're eating, you need to be in a calm state because your digestion works best when you're in digest and rest mode. And so being grateful, being calm, I used to be in the category of I was stressed all the time. And when I was hungry, I would start shaking and I would just gobble up my food. And I was still stressed while I was eating. And my body couldn't digest the foods, which in some cases I wasn't eating good food. So maybe that's a good thing. But there's just a lot of other issues that come. Your digestive system doesn't work properly, and the inflammation doesn't calm down if you're stressed. And there's just a whole lot about that. If a lot of people think that stress is a dismissal, kind of a diagnosis, but I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose and treat or cure any illnesses. All I'm doing is assessing and making, some recommendations, but it's always up to you because I listen to your story and I understand what's going to work in your life and what isn't. And then we do things to enhance the immune system. And sometimes when you do the other 3 things, your immune system is automatically enhanced. But of course, all of it works together. And it could be that just getting outside in nature, looking at the beautiful sunset, creating something, painting, cooking, doing something fun that you really love to do, spending time with grandchildren, just lifting your spirits and getting yourself in a happy place, that is going to do immeasurable good for your immune system and start to squelch that inflammation. Everything works in a combination. And of course, we only do 1 or 2 things at a time so we can see what's working. And once a person is better, we don't need to do more. There could be other things that we can do to enhance that, There's no guarantees, but something, so it doesn't come back, because I want to educate you and help you figure out what is going on with you, because again, everything is connected. We're all unique and all things matter. So again, I'm Tami Jersey Roberts, functional nutrition counselor. And if you're curious about your 3 roots and many branches, download the handout now. I got it from the Functional Nutrition Lab, Andrea Nakayama. I'm giving her full credit for that. TamiJerseyRoberts.com/blog. Download a free copy of it. And I hope you have a great day. There's going to be one more video in this series. Again, this was video number 4. Thank you.